Okay, let's talk about the required materials for this class. When you land on the home page, you've got a link here called Course Materials. Now, this is a very, very important link. Let's click on this. This tells you everything you need to know about what kind of software you need. You know, I tell you something about how the college is moving from um, Google email to Office. There very well may be an install Office button that you could use to install Office 365 Plus on your computer. This will give you everything that you need if you're installing that on a PC. Remember, if you install this on a Mac, you're not going to get Access. You're going to need Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and Access for this class. And the version for the Mac is slightly different. So for an advanced user, they may be able to go ahead and work with that. But if you're a beginner, you want your screen to match your book. So about your books, we're talking about a digital subscription. So you're not going to get physical books formally. So formally, if you look at our syllabus, it says that you're going to be getting a digital subscription. Okay. And to get this digital subscription, you can do it in different ways. You can go directly to Cengage. You can click on a link on my webpage on inside of Canvas and get there, or you can go to the bookstore. So it's very difficult to beat their price. The reason for that is that, say, for $120 for the semester, you gain access to not only your books, but any book, even cross-discipline. So let's say, I don't know, but let's say that you're using an economics book from Cengage. Well, guess what? You only pay $120. You get that book plus our books. So that's the benefit of using Cengage Unlimited. And then if you really must have a physical book, it'll only cost you $8 and it's free shipping. So if you go to Amazon or vitalsource.com and look these two books up, the price comes pretty much the same. Unless you're really good at looking, it may be you might be able to find something cheaper, but that's pretty much up to you. Our formal statement is that we're going to use this um, digital subscription. All right. So once you go ahead and pay for this, you'll be able to gain access to it. So what I think you should do is click on all these links here and learn about the Cengage Unlimited and learn about whether or not you're going to want to print a printed book. It's only $8 more, and they include the shipping in there. So where do you access these digital books if you buy them? So if you go to modules, you're going to have some links here in Unit 1 or Unit 0, excuse me. See this section here that says access your digital resources? This this is just a video on the registration process. You've got to get an account, you've got to pay. And once you do that, you can come in through here to gain access to all of your stuff, or come into here to MindTap and gain access to the books that I have. The reason I say designed is because you're only responsible for covering chapters 1, 2, and 3 of Word, 1, 2, and 3 of Excel, 1, 2, and 3 of PowerPoint, 1, 2, and 3 of Access. And really they have bigger books that include more chapters, so I have to cut out a lot of stuff. So how do you get to your stuff? Well, if you haven't paid and you click on this little link here, it's going to go ahead and you're going to have to click on this little link there. It's going to ask you to set up an account and pay. So once you do that, then you'll pretty much be able to go ahead and click on that link and access your material. So let me leave student view and show you what I see, and that should be what you see. Okay, so I'm going to come over here to modules, and I'm coming in to the COSC 1301 MindTap books. So that I'm going to load it, and here are your books in this. It's called like a learning path. They call it a learning path. I've arranged it So you have two books. One's called the Technology for Success book. That's where you're going to get your test from. That's this link right here. You see that? So if you click on this, you'll see all your chapters. So for the first exam, you're going to study chapters 1, 2, and 3. Of course, I do provide you with PowerPoints. You can read those as well. Answers to the chapter questions. Those are inside of Canvas. We're inside of Cengage now. So to read through this stuff, you click on this, and then you can go ahead and click on the beginning if you want to read the objectives, or just go directly into reading the chapter. Now, the way you go through this book, you've got to scroll up and down and then go left and right kind of stuff to go. So you're reading this. This is how you read your book. It's online. Now, if you want it to read it to you aloud, you can click on this little man here, and it'll
IoT
read the
at
stuff.
home. IoT enables you to manage devices remotely in your home, such as to start the washing machine at a certain.
So there's a ton of features, but guess what? I'm not going to be using any of these other features. Let's don't get lost with them. So how do you get back to where you were? You just click on this little X right here. If you want the table of contents to this chapter, you'll click on the left-hand side, and that takes you to the beginning of the chapter. If you want to close the chapter, you click on the little X here. Is that easy? Let's collapse this now. So that's the Technology for Success book. What's in the start here? These are just some things that the publisher thought were important. Like it goes over the different versions of Office. That has confused a lot of people. And then it goes over a little bit about MindTap. And then it talks a little bit about file management. I'm not going to quiz you on any of this stuff on here, but if you need a review on file management inside of Windows 10, you can go ahead and click on that and read through it. Let's zero in on your labs. So in Unit 1, you're going to be working through Word. In Unit 2, you're going to be working through PowerPoint. In Unit 3, you're going to be working on Excel. And the last unit will be on Access. So let's click right here on Word. So this Word, PowerPoint, Access, that's your other book. This is the way it's being portrayed here. This is the Shelley Cashman book. So we've got 3 chapters. So to create your flyer, you just click on this and then click on the link. And then just read through it. And the same things apply. If you want to go to the table of contents, you click over here on the ... You want to close, you click on the X. But this is the book, So, I got to the wrong place. Sorry, that's the end of the chapter. Let's go to the beginning of the chapter. Introduction. I don't know how I ended up at the end. So this is the beginning of the chapter. It lists the objectives. You're reading through it, and it talks about what is Word. Remember, we're going to be working through all of the orange numerated steps. So you're looking for the orange numerated steps. So this is what you're going to build. This is what you're going to send me. This flyer right here. And this image I will provide to you in your lab assignment as a zipped file that you can then download and use it when at the right point in time. So you see these little orange squares. So now you'll have to go to, if you have dual screen, this would work out great. So you could be reading the steps on one screen, and if not, you're going to have to be going. You're going to have to be tabbing. Like for example, you could probably have Word on one tab, and or be switching back and forth. I'm a little spoiled. I got dual screen on here. So the steps are like, for example, start Word, enter text in the document, format the text. This is what you're going to end up doing to the flyer on here. So it starts off by starting Word. Oh, excuse me. Those weren't things to do. Those were just those were the what you were going to end up doing. This is what you're going to do in the module. So this throws a few people here, is that this is just the overall idea. They should have changed the color on those numerated steps. So this is where you really start going through this, and this is the real beginning here. This is where you really, it says click on start, right? In Windows. Yeah. If you want to go back, you go back. The part that I think some people may forget is to scroll down. So you click on start. Now if you click on next, then you've missed the bottom part here. So you click on start, and it's asking you to go find Word, right? So if you just type in a little bit of Word there, it should come up on the screen. Of course, you've installed it and it's ready to go. So first of all, it just gives you a little overview of the screen and tells you a little bit about what you're going to build. Tells you about the ribbon, and finally we get to step a few more steps to verify that you're in print layout view. So it kind of starts slow. There's a lot of reading, and then later on you'll actually be doing a lot more typing. So then it says like click the layout on the ribbon to display the layout tab. Of course, this is where you're actually working. So what's going to happen here is, how do you do your lab assignments? You're going to go to Canvas, find out what you're assigned. Like if it says work on module 1, Word 1, well, you come here and you pretty much work here with Word open, and you do everything it tells you on the screen here. You're going to end, if you work through this chapter, you're going to end up with that little flyer that it showed you. Of course, it kind of like, tells you all about Word as you're going along, like, how the ribbon works and all that kind of stuff. So it's not just doing the ribbon on here. So give yourself, sufficient time to do this. I hope that this little review here shows you how to access your book material. Okay, so in Unit 2, you'll work on PowerPoint, and in Unit 3, you'll work on Excel, and then lastly, Access. So it's Lab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, and you'll be submitting them inside of Access. You will not see, some people who've taken these mind taps, the way that one of the ways that you can use them is to go ahead and work interactively here in a simulated environment, or to submit your work through this interface and have it graded. I chose not to do that. What we're going to be doing is that you're going to be just simply using this as a book, and you'll submit your work through Canvas. Okay, so you'll save your file to your computer and then submit it through Canvas. There's a video on how to submit your labs. You'll probably need to refer to your book here for the discussions as well. Like, say, for example, the discussion may say, may have something to do with a particular module. So what you'll do is you'll come to your Technology for Success book and open it up here. So as you can see, the design of this is a little, I would probably say a little awkward, because this is the theory book, and then the other book, they didn't put it in like that. They went ahead and separated it into Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and Access. Why? Well, because these are separate books. These are also sold as separate books, and then they were just slapped together as a comprehensive Office 2019 book as well. So it's material that's is used in different books and in different ways and in different levels, so intro, intermediate, and advanced. So for our class, in our Shelley Cashman introduction book, we'll be working on the first 3 chapters of Word, first 3 chapters of PowerPoint, and first 3 chapters of Excel and Access. Okay, so that is how you go ahead and access your books. You've got to pay for them, and once you finish your lab assignment, you can go ahead and then submit it. Like, for example, if you finish the first lab, then you will come over here to your Lab 1 and submit it through here. Okay. Other than that, that's all I got to say about the books. I do send you an announcement on other options. It's up to you. They've told us that it's going to be very difficult for you to go ahead and find a better deal. So that's pretty much up to you. Do you need to buy the digital subscription? That's pretty much up to you. They've told us it's hard to beat, especially if other classes use this. You could end up saving a lot of money. Okay, but if you like, maybe one of your buddies has the books, you can use those too, because as you know, I'm not going to be having you submit anything through Cengage. You're going to be submitting everything through Canvas, the LMS. So if you acquired the books through your friend, or purchased them cheaper somewhere else, or went to vitalsource.com and simply viewed them on through their interface, I looked at their price and it was like the same, unless it's changed. So I didn't really see. It may be that maybe the interface is different, or maybe you might like it better. But that's pretty much up to you, just as long as you're using the right books. Now, this is what they look like if you were to want to look for. And this is a very informal statement on here. The formal statement is that you should use the digital subscription. That's what's in your syllabus. I am simply providing this for those people that want to explore other options. Notice that the ISBNs are shown down there below. Okay, well, that's all I have to say about how to get your materials. Now you would know how to go ahead and do your exams or prepare for your exams, your discussions, and of course your lab assignments. You will need this interface, whether it be the digital subscription or the actual physical books. Other than that, that's all I have to say about this. Thank you very much.